Okay. All right. If you take nothing else away from tonight's call, I want you to take this away because this is a powerful, powerful, simple tool that helps you just best understand where you might want to spend your time, resources, and efforts. And it's called an influence map. So I'm going to walk you through this map step by step. Okay. So you have here GraceMar. These are all of my presumed customers, but I'm trying to find out which customer is the most important. Where should I be concentrating my efforts? Who's going to have the greatest influence on the success of what I'm trying to bring to the marketplace? So we have GraceMar, we have the employers, we have the unemployed individuals, and then we have the funders. So what you do is you start with GraceMar and you say, does GraceMar have a greater influence on what I'm trying to create or the marketplace on the employers, or does the employers have a greater influence over GraceMar? Well, in this case, the employers actually have a greater influence because without the employers, I don't have jobs to put people in. So I need the employers. So this arrow is coming from the employers into GraceMar because the employers have a greater influence on GraceMar. You take a negative. When I push an arrow away from GraceMar, where I influence one of these two, then I get a +1. So right now, GraceMar is at a -1. So does GraceMar have a greater influence on the funders, or does the funders influence GraceMar? That's probably really easy. The funders influence GraceMar. So now GraceMar has a -2. What about GraceMar's influence on the unemployed? Well, I'm bringing the job to the marketplace. I'm the one potentially going out getting the funders and the employers. So GraceMar would have a greater influence on the unemployed. So now we're going to look at the employers. Employers already have a great influence over GraceMar. How about employers over the funders? Well, they do have a great influence over the funders because the employers bring the jobs to the marketplace. Funders are looking to fund organizations and opportunities that are going to bring forth their missions. So they're just looking for a vehicle like GraceMar to help them achieve their social economic goals, while the employers are the ones who are actually bringing the jobs to the marketplace. Well, the funders actually have greater influence over the unemployed. And then we look at the unemployed bucket. As you can see, GraceMar has the influence over the unemployed. The employers have the influence over the unemployed, and so do the funders. So the unemployed really don't have an influence in the equation. They do, but their influence is lesser than the three. Who's my primary customer? The employers. What we had to do, though, was to go out and get employers because I knew that if I got the employers, I would get the funders and the unemployed people. So the employers became our focus. And Miss Sophie, she was around, she was working with somebody else, but she can remember when we were doing these big job fairs and hiring events where you had to get an invitation to attend.